over there, the mountains, you can hike up those mountains up there. You got mountains all around here. You can hike huge parks. I'm just taking a quick stroll though. Moves around the area. All four corners of the mountains. Nature out here is amazing. Nice little breeze. Just like to jump on here while getting my day started. It's just a beautiful day. That's what the world is about, man. Experiencing, traveling, educating. Yeah, that's the little mountain you can hike up that. Soon as it get a little bit warmer, we'll start doing our outside workout in the mountains again. I just like it to be a little bit warmer when I do my outside calisthenics. Yeah. And it's similar to Arizona, where we have our acres at, where our brotherhood will be building our camp. This nature is nice, man. I just like to jump on here and show some real life stuff. Yeah, it's nice. Yep, nature. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. So you got the mountains all the way yonder. It look close, but that's kind of far. Yeah, you got the mountains behind you. Yeah, it's just a nice area. Beautiful nature. Beautiful nature. Can everybody see it? Yeah, yeah. It's chilling, man. Getting out some positive vibes this morning. Sky clear. The sky always clear. Skies are always clear out here. But I just like sitting out here, man, looking at the mountains, looking at the view. And like I said, sometimes I go up those mountains and do some hiking. And then you can go around them, there's even more mountains. Yeah, just Nirvana, man. This peace. Yeah, yeah. How you doing, sir? Yeah. Oh yeah, those are the mountains right there. So you got mountains all around. Yep, yep. And like actually you can go all the way around. Like this is just like the front side. But of course, we know mountain it's a full yeah. So you can actually go all around it, go up it, in between it, all that good stuff, man. It's just beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all. Just chilling, man. I just jumped on here. So get my morning meditation in. Yep, the sun is beaming now. Yep, the sun is actually beaming now. Yep, it's a beautiful day. Gotta keep my eyes low for the damn rattlesnakes. It's that time of the year, man. But I don't bother them, so they don't bother me. I don't bother the nature at all. I just admire it. Keep it pushing. Yep, man. Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody, man. I just want to jump over here on my little morning walk and see if anybody jump on. But you know, it is what it is. Yep, it is what it is, man. But I just jumped on here to give everybody some encouraging words and stay strong. You know, stay positive with your family and do things that's important to you, and let everything else, you know what I mean, fall by the wayside, man. You know, that's what's really important, man, for whatever you want to call yourself, man. Whatever you believe in, man. That's the beauty of this world. America, Kibbalah, whatever, Amorica, whatever you want to call it. That's the beauty of being here. When you have the right, your individuality, your religious right. So that's where I stand with all science, man. I let it be known who I am and the importance of those that understand who we are and accepting it, the gift. You know, everything else is wasted energy. You know, because what you see is, it's like I always say, their own kind arguing with each other of who they are. And that should never be the fight. That should never be the fight, man. It's just hard to believe that I mean, melanated people, well, everybody have melanin, but you know, a certain hue of people will spend so much energy disagreeing. How you doing, sir? I'm doing great, doing great.
It's always great when it ain't hard as heck.
Oh man, it's coming though.
I ain't
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, man, that hot weather is coming. But yeah, man. You know where I'm at with the understanding and the science when I tell everyone, I operate on peace, man. And this gift, one of life and laws, you cannot arbitrarily explain anything. But you have a certain group of people that have the same you, that look like each other in the mirror, arguing over this and that and the other, which makes no sense at all. Because you have a right of a nationality and you have a right to change it. And no one would be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. And the claim of child replaces the birth certificate. So saying you this or saying you not this or saying a name come from a European and this and that and the other, you know, it just, sometimes the fight that a lot of adults have, sometimes it's a waste of energy when you see a group of people combating with each other instead of using that energy to really do some building. Because when you debating your own brother or sister, which is a sin in my eyes and religious books, because we don't debate our brothers and sisters, what's to debate your own brothers and sisters if you're not going to debate pseudo and a Negro-centric propaganda? What's the purpose for a whole bunch of grown men? I never understood that. You know, like when a lot of people argue, like for instance, accepting who you are. It's like if you agree to your nationality, your race, and your status, if that's what you agree to, you have to understand no one can arbitrarily deny your right of a nationality and the right to change it. So if the laws say that, why would you even make videos and things saying what a person is and what a person isn't? And clearly the law says what a person can be if they want, regardless if the masses agree with it. That's the problem with the most misnomered Negro, blacks, and color as a whole. We stuck on this religious and this anger that we can't agree to get things done on a global stage. And that's just facts. You know, it's factual, it's historical. Things have really really happened. And yes, you may have a certain few or a certain body or certain fascist groups that's doing certain things that's not just. And that's everything in life. No matter if you say it's more this or Christian this or Jew this or Catholic this, you're gonna always have a group of people that's gonna be doing some illegal things. And that's how those individuals be judged accordingly. It's just what it is. That's why I love the world we're in, because anybody individually gonna be judged for the crime. And if the body's with it, then that's what it is. But in today and what's seen with a lot of this social media, with a lot of these men and a lot of these Afrocentric people and everything, and all, I just see a whole bunch of different splinter groups arguing with each other, because that's all I see. And I'm telling you, these people are making themselves look like asses. I mean, and I had to tell another brother, I said, do you think the government gives a shit about what these Moors is doing on the internet, like some COINTEL or some agent? Man, the government ain't paying these Negroes because it ain't no real structured body. This stuff is internet. And there's a whole bunch of men mad with each other. Who knows why? Who cares? But these people ain't no real agents and no COINTELPRO. What movement? It ain't nothing happening. These brothers it ain't no temples that's really operating. I mean, I can show you things and see what people say and what people do. But when it comes down to this global thing, good morning, ma'am. We have to be real honest. And a lot of individuals, adults, are not willing to really sit down and be under the tutelage of real science and law. I tell people this all the time. A sheik does not mean you a scholar or educator. You can be anointed a sheik. Just like in church. You went there long enough, you there, or we called you, or whatever, somebody, or we gonna make this person the so-called sheik. Not based off the wisdom, which is supposed to be, just because. So a lot of brothers do be limited, and a lot of the temples have become like church. It's just a fact. It's just a fact, man. You know, because when I talk about legal things and illegal things, we have to be honest with things. And when people do things not understanding the full course of the law, what that means? They're operating outside of the parameters of the law. And so that means in a court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law. So what I'm saying is, as a sheik, as a scholar, as an educator at the Bay, we should understand all law and restrictions so we don't take anybody and burn their houses. If we're not willing to do that research and have a body or have a particular branch in our temple that deals with that, then we are limited. And when I say we, I'm talking about the individuals that's operating on that system. How can you just say you know religion and spirituality per se, and just say the spirituality of the science and really not having a full understanding of the legal aspect and just playing the game? You can't do that in real life, because you'll get people in trouble and lives will be destroyed. And so that's all I'm saying, man, with this science. It ain't got nothing to do with a whole bunch of people trying to tell somebody, well, this is you, this is... Look, this is a gift. Either you with it or you not. But it ain't for a whole bunch of Moors to be acting like other different people that be on the corners scaring people. That ain't for, man. We should be so engulfed in ourselves and teaching ourselves and teaching our families the correctness and the proper way to be upright than anything else as a body. That's what I'm saying about this Moorish science, man. This Moorish science ain't no whole bunch of men trying to squat in houses, trying to get no fake IDs. None of that stuff, man. And I always tell people, you're always going to have a particular group. If that's the case, all those, how can I say, Catholic priests that have done all that, we can say, well, all of them ain't shit. Or we can say, come on, a group of people or a certain body of people, we can convict everybody and say, just because this, you are like that. Or if your dad did this, I'm gonna say you do it with no evidence. That's what this stuff has came to. And the name calling is really asinine with adults. I mean, if you look at this stuff, what's going on social media, when people send me things, I said, man, I don't know. I had no idea. I had no idea of all these older men making videos about each other and caricatures and heads and calling each other agents. And I don't know, man, like a lot, saying who ain't this and who ain't no grand sheik and who ain't this, not and the other. Man, let me tell you something about science and wisdom. You can go a leader and an educator, a Buddha, a God man, gonna be that no matter where he or she goes. Screw more science. And that's what I be telling people. Before more science, what were you? Was you a scholar? Were you an educator? Was you a leader? Before you jumped all the way into the science? Yes or no? Because I was. I always had a body of brothers and sisters. And this is what I tell people. A scholar, a sheik, a guy, I'd rather have a true honest man than somebody going through some somatics, talking about they some sheik just through the temple and they're limited in wisdom and they just an old man, so-called sitting on a damn throne. See, that's bull crap. And then you go and you look at the temple, there's nothing. These brothers have been having so-called temples forever under rhetoric. All the brothers be in them temples be poor and dirty. It don't be shit going on. It ain't. That's why I tell people this pageantry shit don't mean nothing. The internet will fool the hell out of you. And that's what a lot of Negroes will do. They use the internet to try to fool you. They try to fool you. But when you go and they see and really see the so-called work, it's no work. It's all staged. I'm telling you what I know, man. I've been traveling too much on my own dime in scholarship and academia. I done popped just too many people's city and seen the real them.
and seen the real them and refuse to take pictures with people. I tell people I don't take pictures with people. I'm not taking a picture with somebody for they can put something on there, especially if you acting a fool. I'm like, what's that? That ain't our mission as Sheiks, no Negrotainment. And if I'm a journalist, I'm doing real journalist work. I'm doing real research, history, law, civics. I don't care what no criminal doing. Why? Because they not in my parameter. Only people that's getting caught up in criminal stuff and scams is those that want to get scammed. We're going to speak the truth all the time. And the truth and a lie, the lie can't stand next to the truth. Just like a dirty glass and a clean glass. If you telling the truth and you speaking the truth, everybody's going to know, like, wait, that goes beyond the true teachings and the law. Why? Because She Goodman Bay explains it and gives the science. We don't have to rock like that with no characters, just spewing shit out their mouth. And we don't have to rock with a person that's mad or some reason. I told you. How can a person sit up here and disrespect anything about Moors and say Moor is some European name and that Europeans gave Moors and not done no real research, not done no real research with the first century writers, and not just J.A. Rogers. I'm talking about European writers. I'm talking about Albert Churchward, Lewis and Clark, David McRitchie. I mean, I'm talking about people that in the first century that explained this shit. And then we today problem with each other because we mad at certain characters. And I say, don't diss the science. If the science ain't wrong, the messenger might be wrong, but the science, if you're looking for the science, man, just deal with the science and throw that character in the trash. Throw them characters in the trash, because we know as a people, man, hey, I just challenge people to study. If you don't like Noble Drew Ali, when people be like, oh, Noble Drew Ali did this, and I said, I heard a rattlesnake. And Noble Drew Ali was married to young girls. I said, look at the common law in that time. I tell people, your granddad married your grandma when she was 13, 12. And then people be getting mad. And I say, that's what we do. We do dumb shit without researching, without understanding. If you don't like Noble Drew Ali, well, then research Deuce Muhammad Ali. Research Deuce Muhammad Ali. Then research Abdul Hamid Solomon. And then research Angelo Solomon, the first Moorish Mason. That's all I ask people to do. Look up Angelo Solomon, the first Moorish Mason. Who the hell does Shakespeare write about? Othello? What? The damn Moor. Who you think damn Jamie Foxx played in Robin Hood? A damn Moor. I don't be getting it. And white people are so upset. And then the European gonna agree with me, because then when I get the old dictionaries, which I have from Europeans all over, and telling you what more mean Westerner, and break it all the way down for you, and they agree with me in scholarship. Then I get the definition of an Arab, not A-R-A-B, A-R-A-P, by Vladimir Dale, and he'll tell you, and I'll show you what an Arab truly consists of. So what we mad for? You got to understand that it's a higher level of wisdom, and you must be illuminated in science. And that's what it is when I tell people, you debating on things, you have a little understanding. And when people do that, they be mad. And I'm like, you're coming from a religious perspective. And when you do that, you got some Afrocentric, you got some, whatever they call themselves, Egypt this, you got some Moors, you got some Hebrews, and they taking all of it and coming up with their own bullshit. And I say, I don't care about none of that, man. That ain't how I rock, man. If you're not willing to do the all research and you trying to, how can I say it, control a person's understanding because you mad at an individual, because that's what I see. I see a lot of people calling individuals ages and this and this and this and that and that and that and that and that. And I say, you think the government is finna pay some goofy Negro on the internet to be, they a distraction because they a distraction. I told you, their whole method is Negrotainment. That's their true thing of living. What they call them, the internet people, just like all those dudes that be, you got a lot of guys on the internet be talking about hip hop stuff. This is light-skinned dude on there, they be all talking. Y'all know what I'm saying. But that be what it be. It be gossip. And that's what I tell people, man. And people done got caught up wanting to be the first one, and they were the first one. And debate blew my mind. Oh, I want to debate. But all these brothers, first they start all talking more science. That's why I be laughing. I'm like, man, who hurt you? And what you mad at now? Because these Moors know the science, all that, and then talk about the temple. And I say, what temple hurt you? Because everybody, have you been to every temple? No, you can't say that. That's just like saying every man beat a woman. or every Moor that wear fez is a goofy Negro that's squatting in houses and doing all this dumb stuff. That's what I'm saying. Why people have the energy to want to debate each other? If you're a scholar and a leader, your energy should be teaching those that want to be taught, and then the youth. I mean, because if volunteering my time at the hardest hit funds, the schools in your community, the urban schools, sit down doing the research with your team, be like, oh, okay, these are the elementary schools in this community, the middle schools, most of these kids don't have fathers. Boom, boom, boom. I can donate my time and teach these kids. Let me get my paperwork together so I can have my own program, so I can teach these kids. Let me have my own program so I can go in these community centers like I do. But instead, we want to just make videos and be mad. Like, why nobody ain't doing nothing? What you mean? You can't teach your old dog new tricks? And some people don't care about that shit. So go out in the community. Go out. Moors be saying they be traveling, they doing all this, having a good time. Well, if you traveling, it ain't no reason for you to be mad ain't nobody giving you donations. Travel and do some real work and set the system up the right way. Create literature. I mean, it's nothing wrong. That's why I tell people, it's nothing wrong being a part of a true school. See, people will tell you, oh, don't join no groups. See, that's the problem. So if you was going to college and you having a problem in microeconomics, and the only way you can pass is to join this study group, and the study head is a master in economics, you gonna say, well, I ain't gonna join no group, but you want to be better. That's a clown that say that. That's a clown that say that. I tell you, must investigate everything, and if it's right, you're supposed to be a part of it. That's what I be telling people. You'll let a person that's to deal with rhetoric because they lazy, talking about they pray to their ancestors. I like, no, you lazy. You have a 3rd grade education and all your science come from the internet. You have no literature. Everything you do is Google University or Wikipedia. And then if you struggle in something, you're not gonna get with a true body, a true school to learn systematically. That's to me is asinine. That means that you don't want to learn systematically, that you can't be a Mason. You definitely don't understand your compass and your square. That's what I tell people. If you have a lack of understanding and you can be illuminated, and it's a body, a Moor that's an educated, a scholar in real life, been in the community, ran organizations, ran youth community organizations, and this person is a Moor and a heart right and a pillar in the community, and you don't want to learn with them and give a small $100 a month due to learn, that to me is asinine. But then you look at a person, I say, well, you will watch a person video, and you look over the course of the month, you already done donated $100 to this person, because they going live every fucking day. So if you give it some, you be like, damn, what I learned? Nothing. What literature I got? Nothing. What I get from my donation? Nothing. That's what I've been telling people. Man, people give $20 donation to me, I give them literature. I've gathered and compiled and divinely prepared over 20 books. People give $20, I give them 2 of my books and an extra history book. That's what I'm saying. This ain't just me making no videos and get mad because nobody don't give a donation. Shit, most of the videos I make, I don't have that many people. And most people, when I go live, they don't give donations. Why are people mad? Because they're not real educators and scholars in real life. And that's their claim of fame. And I'm telling you, the internet is fake. People be acting like they be there and they don't. If you an educator and you a scholar in real life, you should be all the way there. You should be a real person. I've been doing this shit for years before the internet. If people been following me when I used to be on YouTube, I done canceled my social media so many times. I done helped so many brothers out of prison get their trucking license and contract license. Man, please, man. I done helped so many kids that was failing in school. I done helped so many brothers fill out real paperwork. Not no criminal shit. I'm talking about to get their life right. I done helped so many people start their businesses with their paperwork right, getting their shit right, because that's a part of my organization. I have brothers in my organization, man, that set up web pages. Everything that we do is done legit because that's their profession. And then we come back in our community to try to offer that to people for your EIN, show you how to get your articles of organization, show you how to register on Dun & Bradstreet, show you how to get Quick 30 accounts. And then if you're ready, my noble, Alonzo, will walk you and show you how to set up your web page for a certain fee. for you can be legit and you operate as a business. Because Morris just be talking. I tell Morris, man, I'm a business. Nothing with me is public. Everything is private. Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I show people how to do real business. I mean, I do this shit every Wednesday on the college campus, lecture, to a whole group of students. A whole group of students. And all my literature fly off the shelf. I have we create a whole book page, My PDF Books, Books with a Z. So you can download books that you'll go on Amazon that'll cost a lot of money for. You can download it on your tablet or go to Office Max and Staples, send it to them, and they can bind it for you in a book form, like I'll be showing people, or I can do it myself because I got the equipment. There's no reason not to have the literature. I share everything with people. I just don't talk and act like it's all me, because it's not me. It never was a time when man was not. And so if you're a philosopher, if you're a person that want to bring people up, you want to share the wisdom with them. But it's an obligation because a workman is due his hire. Just like if you would go to Amazon and buy all that books and expensive stuff, I'm right here. Go right on mypdfbooks.com right now, books with the Z, and compare the books on there to Amazon. Just like right now, I tell y'all, Empress sent me a video. She said, Sheik, do you have this book? She said, the Noble always hold it up on his videos. I don't watch people. I said, please don't say the name because I don't want to know. She said, Sheik, it's a book called The Unknown Arab. She said the brother always holding up on his videos. Like this book is Christopher, you can get it. She said, Sheik, do you have the book? I say, Empress, I'm an educator. I have every book that anybody gonna have on there. I have an access. You don't have to go to no bookstore and go pay $100 or not no $100, thousands of dollars because the book at that bookstore is like $1,500. You don't have to go there for nobody to get a kickback. You can go right on mypdfbooks.com, books with the Z, download the Unknown Arab. I think I got it on there for like $40-$50. I think I got it on there for like $40-$50. Bam, it's yours. I'm telling you, Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering. Amazon about 4 bands. Bam, you go in there and get it. I had some goofball hit me up one day because I got the 103 amazing facts about the Indian of the Western Hemisphere. And on Amazon, they try to sell it for 250 grand. I think it's unavailable now. It ain't an outline. And somebody hit me up with like, did you get with the author? Man, my publicist jumped in their email and said, one, you need to calm down. She said, because a lot of this information this brother I tell y'all, I get a lot of information given to me from my elder from Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, and I'm a member of the Philosophical Research Society. So I get shit. Man, I told you I had a professor that passed, gave me his whole library. Said that none of his children was into it. Man, I got books that's worth $10,000, $15,000. I got a book given to me called The Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. Man, go on Amazon and see how much that book costs. That's an antique book. I also got Aber Melem, The Magi, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Those are historic books. Man, I got a whole library with over 15,000 books. And then I got a whole PDF base over like 50,000 books. And so when these people try to put this shit on Amazon and try to make the literature expensive, I'm kicking their ass. As an educator, I'm making it available for my people, for students, just like college students that I deal with. When I graduated from GCU, I got my dual master's degree from Grand Canyon University in first century history and religion with a minor in linguistics. And they'll have those college students, man, eat up their financial aid. They'll have to get a book for $400 or $500, and the professor only used 2 or 3 chapters. I killed that shit. I found out how to get all the books in my database, and so what the college students do, they get the books for me. Save them money. Because I know the scam. I was a student. So if I was a student, I know how the colleges make money off those books. And then when you try to return those books, you get $20 after something you paid $400 for. I know how this shit go. Why? I was a student. That's why I can speak like this. That's why I go on the colleges out here in Arizona. They know me and they know I'm speaking truth. Why? I was a student. Cash App, $, G-Bay. I'm telling you, you get $20 more, I'm gonna give you literature. You get $20 and send me a message on my Gmail, Goodman, Khary @gmail.com. I'm gonna get you literature. But you can go on mypdfbooks.com and get books. See, these just facts, man. And the person only know that if they in that group or in that mind frame of what I am, or in that science of academia. I teach this. I go to all schools out here under my own organization and teach kids that nobody want to go into. They call it the Hardest Hit Fund. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I go in those schools. I've been at Thumb Correctional Facility and dealt with all those prisoners when don't nobody want to go into prison and talk to them, because there's a lot of people in the prison that's Moors, but it ain't no sheiks on the record. I am. I'm telling y'all, I talk about truth and science. You can wear your fez in prison. If the Jew can wear his yarmulke, if the Muslim can wear his kufi, you can too, but you don't know that. You know, I speak truth. I don't care if nobody like it. I mean, it don't even make sense if a person like it. But we'd be so hard and ready to kill our own brothers and sisters. But then when an Albion with a trailer dyke, whatever you want to call it, we so friendly and apologizing. I be seeing these Negroes on the internet talk about they want to kill their brother, want to kill each other. And these Moors talk about they righteous. I'm going to kill. They don't believe what I'm saying. This person is a COINTEL. You mad because this person don't believe what you saying and you want to call this person an agent? So what if they blind? So what if they doing? You ain't with it. Your people ain't with it. So what y'all fighting for? What y'all fighting for members like y'all some preachers? You understand? When I tell people, man, this science is not a get out of jail free card. It's science. You must be willing to destroy everything that you thought before you can build. Because if you building on rubble, if you building on a belief system, you done. You know? We supposed to be giving wisdom regardless who accept it. Write the literature. And when you go, people will see the work. But we can't just be going on, man, confusing people because we mad Moors looking at videos and then they say they want to learn. And then when I show them, I'm a teacher. If you want to learn martial arts, if you want to learn any craft, it's an obligation and it's a financial obligation as well. But Moors don't want to put no financial obligation to nothing. They want everything free and to spend their money on bullshit. And then try to get mad with like, are you selling something? Fool, I'm an organization. I'm a real school. What are you talking about? You pay for your kid to go to school. You pay for your kid to play basketball. You pay for all that. And then more talk about they want to learn from me. It's like, well, oh man, this, that, and the other. Man, the obligation to be a student is nothing. It's $100 a month. If a person ain't got $100 a month, then you can't operate with that. That's okay. But you can't get mad at some shit. You don't get mad at the YMCA. You don't get mad at the fucking barber. You don't get mad at the car dealership. You don't get mad at nobody else for doing anything. But here we'll come to the science because we'll spend our money in the wrong way or do whatever with our finances. We want somebody just to give. And then you look in these grown men closet, they got a gang of shoes, a gang of goofy ass baseball hats, a gang of jerseys, go to concerts and shit, smoke up $400 worth of weed each month, and then talk about the science and want to pick off pennies off the ground with the science. That's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of grown people do. And I said, come on, man. If you're really serious, then the first thing the person want to get mad about, oh man, what is it a school? Is it this? Is it that? Or what type of group? Man, it's a group of Moors that study, that's learn, that want to come together and get out the dogma. I'm from the temple. I show everybody things. I'm transparent. But a lot of the temples is not right. Because can't nobody nationalize you or denationalize you. I teach you the science first. I'm a school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I'm a sheik from the temple, regardless of anybody like it or not. I tell you how the temple is set up. I have a school, I have a curriculum, I have a syllabus, I have books, I teach systematically. We teach privately on Zoom. I just use YouTube stuff to try to bring people in. No more Sunday school or my ADAPT teachings is on YouTube anymore. We done. I jump on YouTube just to talk to the people and do history lectures. That's all I'm gonna be doing. We have ID for my temple and school, which we can have. Everybody in my school that they declare their nationality. We the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, which is our right, which the religious right says. We have the right to have a tribal leader, to have our own curriculum. Read the religious rights of the indigenous people and then see if I'm saying anything wrong. We have the right to have our own land out of the community, which we're developing. We have the right to keep our own dress. We have the right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I did. It's a little dog sitting right there, just sitting.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. A pretty dog. I tell people this, man. I tell people this stuff all day. And then if I wasn't saying something that's correct, how could I graduate from 2 universities, getting ready to graduate from Oklahoma to getting my oh damn, that's her dog? No. That's somebody else's dog. Get my juris doctorate degree in Indigenous People Law and Policy. Come on, man. Only way we're going to do things is come to an understanding. Only way this science is going to be on the global stage if brothers and sisters understand it. Anything else, it's just trust. It's just understanding. It's just being a student, and it's getting the literature, and it's coming to study systematically. I promise you this. And it's nothing to deny. Once you get with it's just like if you're trying to take a test and someone trying to convince you these answers right, and I'm sitting here telling you like, you're gonna take the test and fail. And then everybody that take the test, that study under me, pass the test. And then you come back mad and try to say you're gonna make the answers right. You can't make the answers right. Especially if you don't know the formula, and that's what I tell people. I say, man, none of this more science stuff. I ask people, why are you getting into this science for? What somebody told you? What do you think you're finna get when you get in this science? What made you become 40, 45 years old and want to become a criminal? You got to tell me that. What do you want? You want to squat in the house and I can show you all the laws? Man, I can show you all the laws. And these people be going in neighborhoods that nobody want them. Good morning, sir. Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. You too. But yeah, man, I tell people that, man. It's like, come on now. People be getting besides themselves with this science, man. So I asked all Moors, what are y'all getting into this for? I thought you wanted to get in this to understand your nationality and your spirituality. I thought you wanted to understand the law. I thought you wanted to understand constitutional law and international law. I thought you wanted to see all these things so you can have a clear understanding, so you can stand strong on your square with what? Understanding. That's all it is. And truth and honesty. It ain't got nothing to do with, I'm finna go get something, I'm finna protest. It ain't nothing to protest. If you defend the Constitution, it's there. That's why I keep telling people, a lot of Moors don't have that political or how can I say, that power dealing with that aspect of your human rights to even speak on it, because they don't. They want to push a religion all the way down your throat. And Moor science is not a religion. How can Moor science be a religion? I tell you, we don't gravitate to one science where we miss the essence of the rest. I tell people this, if you're willing to sit down and learn, when a lot of people be dissing Zoroastrianism, and I say, man, I don't understand what a lot of people be talking about. A lot of people, wisdom is limited. You know? Like a lot of people, wisdom is very limited. And I say, dude, do you know gematria? They'll get mad. Nope. I say, well, then you can't have an educational conversation with me. Do you know how to spell and speak Kabbalistically? No. Then you can't really have a serious conversation with me. Do you understand linguistics? Do you understand denotation? Connotation? Do you understand subjective and objective? Then you really can't have a conversation with me. You really can't, man. If you think you can transliterate or translate Hebrew to English, simple like that, you can't have a conversation with me, because it can mean 10 different things depending on the context. So if you're not really, so if you're not really willing to do the work, just like when I talk about gematria, when I talk about the dollar bill, when I tell you in the biblical scripture, they talk about 33. And I say, if you a scholar and a sheik and you in the astrology, what 33 mean pertaining to the dollar, pertaining to both signs and symbols on the back of it? Couldn't even tell you, because there's 33 signs and symbols on the back of that dollar, which they talk about Jesus died at 33 years old. What's the science? What's the cipher? Because 0 ain't nothing but a placeholder. So as I get to speak in numerology and get to tying it all together, synchronize it, it's deeper than what a person thinks. That's why they don't operate as a God man everywhere they go. Because when I say peace, everywhere I go, I'm peace. And everywhere I go, I tell people, I try to resurrect people on things. I try to tell people things, but cipher really you 6. I'll break it down even at an even deeper time. Everything adds up. But when I tell people as an educator, I say, man, I don't ask people for donations just to listen to me. when I once I'm allowed to record all the lectures on the college campus, how you doing? Once I'm allowed to record all the lectures on the college campus, I'm gonna show y'all how many students be there. And all I ask students to do is get a piece of literature. But they already give me a donation before I come. Now these college students, a lot of college students, you know, financial aid, they work study, but their parents make sure that they have enough funds to come to my teachings. I'm telling you, man, I have so many college students under my tutelage that graduate with honors, that was struggling how to write an APA format, that was struggling how to do real research. I helped them. That's why I say, man, it's not just people look like me. A God, man, if you understand this science, man is made in the image of Elohim. The evilness is the heart. That's why I said Allah is in the heart. That's the closest place. So I can care if you look like me. It don't make a difference. I tell everybody I'm transparent. Negro, black, and color killed my little brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bey, my baby brother. So I don't get caught up in all of that brother man stuff. It's very hard for me to look at a brother, especially somebody on the internet that's just talking, for me to be like, oh, okay, well, this my brother and this, not the other. That's why I created a brotherhood. And that's why I created a school. And we initiate ourselves through the wisdom and through the love and through the science. Not no whole dumb stuff, go get this piece of paperwork and send me this and send it to this and get some silver note and write some promo Marshall and do all that. We don't do none of that. Because I know a lot of Moors that's in trouble, that's in jail. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and I know a lot of Moors that don't use their Bay and L. I told y'all, when I used to go to court out here, my professor is a referee, judge, whatever you want to call it. I seen too many Moors in lockup. I seen too many Moors. If I show you all the emails I get, Moors talking about they being kidnapped with all that goofy language, all that scam shit, all these women losing their houses because they listen to some goofy ass Moor telling them not to do this and not to pay their gas bill and this, not and the other, and they got children, and now the damn government all in their business. And they like, well, Sheik this. I said, I ain't tell you to do none of that shit. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. This should be a game. And so I tell people to be careful. If you a true Moorish Sheik, I don't care about all that semantics what a lot of these people be talking about. I care about the science and the people you helping. If not, you just a church. You just a church of Moors. That don't mean nothing to me. And Sunday school is just like church Sunday school. When you go over what? Traditional shit, just like in church, Bible study. They have those 3 books from the Catholic diocese. They be different colors every couple of months. It's the same thing with Moorish science. I'm from the Temple. And Temple in my city, Flint, Michigan, on Martin Luther King, that mug ain't been open in months. And they sorry. See, I'm always the pendulum swing both ways with me. They be sorry. And it be ego. Because brothers don't keep things right. And when the Temple come up for a foreclosure, I'm buying it. I'm just going, I speak things to existence. A person can't be mad when you know tax code, when you know things, where you can look shit up and see how long you back behind on taxes. You can see what you can do. And then people lose shit and then they lie and get mad. See, I know the real. We'll let some in our community that's supposed to be a pillar and a stable and a historical monument go to waste. And it's Moors all in our city. We supposed to be Moors. And then when I come around as a true Sheik, a lot of the Moors be taking their fezzes off because they've been lying to people for years. They've been lying. You got a whole bunch of men that's poor. A lot of the Moors that don't work and they'll do nothing, but they'll say they ain't working for no white man, but they wives do it. And a lot of their wives working 2 or 3 jobs while they sit on their ass and do nothing. Talk about they meeting all day. What you meeting all day talking about? And then you're not making no money. That shit be crazy. And then the kids not even learning nothing. These Moors be having kids, and then their sons don't even be having fezzes. And I'm like, y'all don't even have no basketball team, no youth programs, no nothing, no study group for the youth. It's just all men. Man, that shit whack. I don't want to be nowhere with no whole bunch of men. Where the women? None of y'all don't have no empresses, so none of y'all sheiks is in a union. What the hell? To be a sheik, I thought you're supposed to have an empress, according to our teachings. Come on, man. So where the women at? Man, come on, man. Where the children at? Where the body? Where the literature? Instead of just speaking, well, this and that on some dogma, what a literature at? Teach the science. Do you have any literature? Have you making literature available for we can get it from you? Because I have. And I ain't even start sharing. I mean, cause I ain't even uploaded a lot of the more science stuff because we steady upload stuff every month. We upload like 50 books each month. I guarantee you right on there on my page, we got a lot of study books. Like a lot of Moors don't have a Quranic study guide, Catechism to Understanding the Quran, Discover Key Questionnaire, what is it? The SO Workbook. I get all those books I make available for PDF for a small fraction than Amazon. You can download them on your tablet or go to Office Max and Staple and print them and read them. I'm getting ready to put the Moorish Paradigm on there for y'all, some other adapt books for y'all, for you can read it. And then if you don't have the book How the Temple Set Up, I got it. I got you can read it exactly how the temple set up, exactly why I say why you want to be a principality, a school, a municipal, all those things that's anonymous. And you can be like, man, I'm tripping. And you can see the true importance of why the prophet set up a 1099, and you can stop listening to people just talk stuff. And I say, dude, you have no understanding. And then at the end of the day, they'll say, but you're going to need a true sheik from the temple. They're going to double talk you because they don't know the true history. They'll talk about the secret treaty of Verona, just like you hear a lot of people that call themselves sheiks are heavy. And I say, how the temple set up? They have no, then they start double talking. I'm like, yeah, you want to be this. If you understand what I'm saying. If not, you ain't going to be able to do shit legal in life. So go play that damn G.I. Joe shit with these motherfuckers doing. They playing G.I. Joe. I'm telling you, because if they were serious, what they'll be doing, they'll be getting a proclamation in their state updated, because most states, it was in 2012. So if you're so serious and you a sheik, you'll be getting the proclamation signed from your mayor, and that's what you'll be doing. All the rest of the shit is garbage. And you will be teaching your brothers and sisters. You'll be going live, teaching the classes. You will go live and you would teach from the Quran, or if you're doing lectures on particular topics, that's what you would be doing. You'll be teaching on particular topics. You're not going to do a whole lecture and base that whole lecture on talk about some damn COINTELPRO. And now you can go on, and I'll show you what a real COINTELPRO is. The real COINTELPRO, I forget the brother name, where he told on the whole Panthers, where he destroyed shit, killed people, burned people up, set people up. That's a real COINTELPRO. You want to know who another real COINTELPRO? Ron Karenga, the one who started the damn Kwanzaa. Research Ron Karenga. But ain't nobody know COINTELPRO, because you got a whole bunch of niggas with a goddamn Kentucky Fried bucket hat on, and that's what I'm calling it, because it ain't the feds when a goofy got it on. I'm gonna call it exactly what everybody else call it. You a moop, I say that. Anybody doing illegal shit, you ain't my brother. You a clown with a Kentucky Fried bucket hat on your head. You're not a Moor, and it's not a fez on your head. You a clown. You a court jester, a monkey. That's exactly what it is, because the fez don't make you wise. The person is wise before they put the fez on. The fez symbolize the person that's under it. These is facts. If you don't understand that, that's why you see a lot of them with the fez not on their head no more. All you got to do is watch, look, pay close attention, pay close attention. I'm telling you this shit. And then you'll start seeing them like all of them thought they was going to get something. That internet shit is trash. You ain't no internet scholar, internet sheet, because if you're a scholar and an educator in real life, where you get your scholarship from, your academia, it's going to be a certain level of wisdom that you're going to understand. Why? Because in academia, it's prereqs. If you a scholar and you a sheik, or elder, it's going to be some prereqs that you got to agree on. Why? Because it's scholarship. These is facts. And so when you got Negroes on the internet arguing about semantics, about this and that, I said, and then they say they educated. I said, well, if you educated, you have a motive, because you out here playing, because you ain't researched the writers in the first century to even back your statements up. What you saying, you lying. You acting like a lot of these Europeans that John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben was destroying, and even Khalid Muhammad, when he was destroying the Lion Lawyer with the facts. It's like, man, let's deal with the science, get the research, let's deal with the first century writers. What you mad at? You call yourself an educator and you ain't coming up with no sources. You just mad. Show me the science from the first century. Motherfuckers be wanting to debate, men and women, to debate and do what? And collect dollars to debate what? Then go back home? But you ain't giving nothing. That shit is stupid. It ain't nothing to debate. All scholars agree with what I'm saying. And most of my Europeans, especially potentates, Masons, I keep telling most Negroes, if you're not illuminated, your wisdom is low. If you're not a higher science, 99 degrees, a lot of wisdom you're not even introduced to. I'm telling you what I know. My professor is a 32 and 33 degree Mason. He part of Philosophical Research Society. I am too. He only 32 and 33 degrees. I'm 33 times 3. I'm telling you what I know. And a lot of that stuff, they Mason papers, I interpret all that shit and show you it's all comedic science. Just like my new Mason book that I got on the page of the latter days. It's called Atlantis of the Latter Days. They try to hide. It's unavailable now. It was on Amazon for $100. It ain't available no more. I break all that science down. I break it down like that Tubal Cain, how they done castrated you. I show you about Jabal, Jablum, and Jublim, how they had a damn jubilee after they so-called killed Haram Abif from Tyre. I show you all that shit in science. I show you in the Bible. I show you in history. I speak from wisdom. Being a Moor, that's your pedigree. Being a Mason is the science. If you don't understand how to use your compass and square, if you don't understand the hex alpha and the feds and understand they both 360 degrees, if you don't understand that the so-called swastika is just 9 to the 9th to the 9th power, and that's 360 degrees too, you don't know any science. No way. You don't know how to use your compass and square. These is facts, man. I mean, and then when I tell people, I said, a person's intellectual level and scholarship level must go. You must been to read all holy books like the Zohar. I'll break the Zohar down and show you it's all more science. I'll break the damn Book of the Mormon down and show you it's all more science. It's coming from the view of the fucking Hebrews. The view of the Hebrews is the Book of the Mormon. How I know? Because Joseph Smith, man, I don't even got to say how I know. I did all this shit in college. That's why this stuff is nothing hidden. It's nothing new. Just like when watch this, when a lot of Moors be talking that Flavius Josephus and you see them Hebrew Israelites, no disrespect to them brothers, they caught up in their religion. I don't got nothing to say about that. But when they use the Apocrypha, the Old Testament Apocrypha, and they never talk about the New Testament Apocrypha, and they don't understand that that's the Gentile talking about when they left rulership and they all messed up, they want to go back to the ruling of the Gentile, but they don't understand that all that shit, Flavius Josephus, all that shit is fake. And I don't sit up there arguing with them. I'm telling scholarship, they could not go in no court with me with that religious stuff and come out right. The judge will lock their ass up if we pertain to base it on facts, because all that shit is bullshit. And Flavius Joseph is a pen name, a pseudonym. All that shit is fake. I did this in college campus. I had people crying, and I got a standing ovation from scholars. I had scholars come all over when I did my oral dissertation. I tell people, man, you got to be able to take stuff and see what's valid. I don't care if it says chosen scholars best. We destroyed that Flavius Joseph. It's all fake, all garbage. And if nobody can debate that. And then I'll show you the Europeans that we talk about the history of religion, philosophy of it, to be matter-factual, not to be caught up in your feeling. You say you're going to move that mountain, go move it. We're talking about facts. So when people get caught up in things and they use things as reference, I'm like, okay, that's based off what? They can't prove it. That should disappear in your face. And you can't do that in a court of law. You can't base your defense based off a lie. It's no proof. And when people come with things that's not peer reviewed based on religion, that Flavius Josephus is trash. And Flavius Josephus wasn't no Bible. It wasn't no first Bible. I'll show you the Septuagint, all that stuff, and show you how certain things give you a clear understanding. And so when a person uses something that's not even valid, what you gonna believe? If they're not gonna tell you dissect the teachings, you gotta dissect the teachings and tell people both ways so they can decide. That's what a freedom is, when you have things to make a sound judgment. So I give you things to make a sound judgment, and then when you start reading it and when you start seeing how the name changed, you be like, well, when you start understanding things, you be like, this person, he just changed his name. This person, this is a brother, this is families. It'd be all family infighting. Then you will start digressing if you want to learn. But if you don't want to learn and you operate your understanding on some man that told you or your belief system, then you're wrong. And you can't take that shit to court. Flavius Josephus, all that shit is trash. And that ain't nothing to debate. If you stay in context, what I'm saying, if you out of context, then a person definitely need to learn. And that's what I be telling people. We be getting so butthurt in things that we can't prove. 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't you know they got a Caesar Jesus? I can show y'all all this stuff, man. And doing my academia studies, I traveled all over seeing professors, European, having people cry. Just like when I did when this girl was trying to talk about she was Ephraim, and I said, not based on that book. You ain't Ephraim because no religion, because no belief system. Just like you're not Jewish because you believe in Judaism and you speak Yiddish. Come on, man. It's just what it is. You can't be mad at nobody. It's a deeper understanding. It's a deeper science in this. And if you're not willing to go there, then you're basing your understanding on a belief system. And I'm not here to debate that. That's why I tell people, man, when I used to be on campus and I used to show films, I never had a problem with students and people learning because we showing film for educational purposes only. And then we having conversation. We're not here to debate. And then we using it for reasoning to make it applicable in real life. But then when I start sharing, when I illuminate our own people, the first thing a lot of our own people want to talk about is stupid stuff. And they be mad. Like here it is, you get on a person to be on your whole YouTube page for hours to disagree or to say what they don't like, or they don't, or somebody say they don't like your motive and don't even know you. I say, well, man, I have a brotherhood. I get on here just to talk to the people. I have young students I train. I help brothers and sisters in prisons. I give over 50 suits away each year to brothers that's less fortunate. I don't have no time to be worrying about somebody on the internet saying what they don't like and they think this. That don't mean nothing to me. And the people that deal with me and even my business endeavors that I do in real life, they'll be like, man, this is for me. College students that I deal with that get literature from me, they say they don't want nothing free. They willing to pay. But it be our own people that want shit for free. It be our own people that want something for free. Like I asked the dude, I said, you a barber? Yeah. I said, well, cut everybody hair for free. He was like, I can't cut everybody hair for free. That's my profession. I said, oh, so you want somebody that's a bookstore to give books away? I said, you go to Amazon and ask the motherfuckers on Amazon that they books too much. Go on Amazon right now and look up how much Judah Trembles on the Rome costs by Windsor. Go on Amazon right now and look up how much Judah Trembles Under Rome costs. I bet you on Amazon the book is probably about $900. And I used to tell Morris a long time ago, I said, these books gonna go up crazy. Ask my members and students. I got recordings I'm saying this shit. When I used to travel to California to the Esam and Wusam bookstores, I used to travel all over collecting books, me and my empress. I knew these books was gonna go up. Now you go right on Amazon, that book Judah Trembles Under Rome, I bought like 10 of them for like $25 from the bookstore. Right now, Amazon to mark that book up $900. $900. So you think I'm not gonna create a platform to my brothers and sisters that want to learn, that want to get the wisdom, that I know the average person not gonna pay $900 for a book. I got books that I paid that much for because that's what I'm into. I don't care about having no $400 pair of shoes. I want the book. Then I create the books to PDFs. And people get the book from me, $45, $50 PDF. If you want it hard copy, you go to Office Max to Staples, have it bind it, excuse me, and you print it. And you have it in your little book form. That's what we do. We create platforms. You want a fez? I tell Morris, we have fezzes. My fezzes are handmade with the proper perforations for all symbology. The tassel is legit, the umbilical cord. That's why it take a couple weeks for they to be made. They be made for your hair size. I ain't going to no damn Hobby Lobby getting you one of them little cheap graduation tassels. That's not the proper perforations. Don't you know your tassel is symbology? Don't you know that mundane ball means something? That's a mundane ball. Even the strings around the ball. And then your tassels, it's supposed to be 360 strings. The umbilical cord, all that, the navel. All that stuff is symbology. So I would want to get a cheap version of something that I don't have to. I save for the right thing. Just like I tell Morris, if you got a closet full of $250 shoes and you call yourself a Moor and don't have a fez, that's crazy. You don't even have a turban? That's crazy. And then the more they say, well, it ain't a temple in my city. Well, it's your obligation. I just told y'all, I have Sunday school privately on Zoom, and Saturday we have adapt lessons. I teach business classes. Man, I'm a personal trainer. We work out 5 days a week. I mean, I got children's books. I mean, I help students, especially young students, man. Don't y'all know, man, I did a whole oral lecture, man, about the importance of teaching young kids who they are. And all scholars agree that if our misnomer Negro, Black, and colored kids understood who they are at a young age, it'll change their how can I say it, their perspective and their attitude of themselves and that self-confidence. It's just like the conspiracy to destroy black boys and girls. That was in the 80s. It's still valid today. Man, I keep telling y'all, man, being noble is a lifestyle. Nobility is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. We got to stop hating on each other. If brothers doing wrong, shut them down. stop following them, because that's the only way a person is able to do things, if you make it popular. That's why I tell people nobody can compare in real life of the true word. It don't matter about the internet. It don't matter about a whole bunch of followers for me. Like, even when I was in college, I wasn't on the internet like this. I did real work in my community. So I always did things. I was always able to travel. I always went to high schools and spoke and lectured to kids, because I'm an organization, tax exempt for the federal government. I'm always able to travel and speak and collect donations. That's why I'm able to travel. Like, when I go speak certain places and it be 20 people, they say, man, we all got $100 sheet to come. And you giving us a tax exempt receipt, and you giving us literature that's worth way more than $100? I say, yes. That's why I be laughing. I'm like, this stuff ain't hard. So as I'm walking back home, man, that's what I tell people. If you want to learn, man, come to class. Because all Sunday school now is privately on Zoom. And all our adapt teachings is privately on Zoom. I mean, it's nothing wrong giving donations, man, especially if you get something that you love. That's why I say, man, I don't have time to be talking about no churches and things, and those church members are doing what they love, regardless how we may feel about their situation, regardless how somebody else may feel about their situation. They feel okay with what they're doing. And so I just be trying to tell Moors, if that's the case, what are we gonna do? Because I just told you, I'm transparent. The pendulum swing both ways with me. I'm not going to say all the temples ain't shit. I'm not going to say that, because I haven't been to all the temples. But I'm going to tell you, the temples that I've been a part of, and these lying ass sheiks that be doing this tax fraud shit, I ain't going to call their ass out, but they had never come on my page and say nothing, because they know I know. And these lying niggas out here in Arizona that be going to jail, please. That shit ain't no more science. And be getting kicked out of building from building. I had a group of Moors come to my building, and then soon as the lady knew where they was at, she came right to my building. And my dad would tell you, she was like, you gonna have to leave them brothers alone, sir. Sure enough, she was right. I'm telling you, these Moors be having people doing all type of scam and stuff. Talk about they finna nationalize you. Talk about some 1010 number is some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. That ain't nothing but a religious affidavit. I'll show y'all how these Moors be lying. Man, go right now on mypdfbooks.com and go ahead and download Exhume Another Nation. You need it. It's on Amazon for $250. Watch, Amazon finna make that science even more. Watch, I guarantee you, probably before the winter hit, it's gonna be $1,000. Because I'm telling you, when things get popular, the powers that be, they start reading things. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you, believe me, you dealing with somebody that know. They'll start reading things. And so if the information in there, it's like in academia, they call it the reading list. So they'll make the information expensive. So I'm telling y'all, man, and we got it available on My PDF Books. I think it's for $75, I think. And writing a preface, you can read things, how these Moors be lying, talk about they can nationalize you and denationalize you and all that stuff. You can go right in there and be like, ooh, sheik. You can read every chapter, everything that I'm saying. And then if you don't understand it, you can study it with me. Because I don't need none of the books. And I'm not saying it like I'm like the know-it-all. I study a lot and I love what I do. So I help people interpret the science. Just like when I ask a person, what is the Bible written in? Analogy, parable, and symbology. So if you don't know analogy, parable, and symbology, you definitely can't have another conversation. And then the person say, well, I'm a Moor, I don't read nothing else. I just read the Quran. Well, that's a compilation of a different holy books. That's just like a Christian saying they don't read nothing but the Bible. So if you only read the Moor's Quran, which is only a small couple pages, about less than 50 pages, you don't know what's written. You haven't read the Bukhari Hadith to understand nothing. A scholar, you haven't read the Brahmin text. You haven't read the Vedas, which our Moor's Quran clearly speaks of. Come on, man. You have to admit that you are limited. You have to. You have to. And then when it's dealing with business, it ain't no fake business or none of that stuff, or no scams and all this stuff that people lying to y'all about like they some masters in cryptocurrency and masters in this. Man, we have to have people really, really, really be honest. Because there's a lot of people in jail, and there's a lot of Moors going to jail. And it's a lot of Moors that don't have nothing but the internet. And it's a lot of them that still live with their moms. And it's a lot of them, hey man, that stand with these women on Section 8. It blew my mind. So I just want y'all, man, if y'all want to learn, man, come to class. Don't let nobody steer you away from learning. And don't get caught up in figures. Learn, because something can sound so good and can be so wrong. Don't you know a lie can be packaged up in linguistics in a way that a person can speak so eloquently with a silver tongue and be acting like they teaching you something and be a total lie because they know you're not connected to the information. I'll give you a prime example. Just like Alex Haley, right? Roots. A lot of our own people didn't know Alex Haley plagiarized all that shit from Roots. And then a person that get mad, or Kunta Kinte with his family. No, he ain't. He lied. Alex Haley plagiarized that whole book, everything from a European called Harold Colander. Roots is fake. Now you mad because you all caught up in your feelings, but Roots is bullshit. Alex Haley plagiarized all Roots from a book called The African by a European called Harold Colander. I got all this science. And so people be butthurt because you've been lied to by your own people forever. And that's the problem. No one outside of you can do nothing unless your own people is assisting. And that's all through history. With Patrice Lumumba, with everything. In the Congo, with Leopold. Just like Willie Lynch, all propaganda. And you had rappers to rap about that. And then Negroes that have debates. And I said, Willie Lynch is propaganda. I destroyed that in college. I had professors come all over to listen to my oral dissertation on Willie Lynch. Destroyed it. No writers in first century in the Library of Congress because it wasn't one. And in the first century, black wasn't used to describe ethnicity. That's why it ain't in Black Law's Dictionary, Volume 1. I'm telling y'all what I know. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. If you're a scholar and you're an educator, you know exactly what I'm saying. If not, you've been miseducated. Just like Carter G. Woodson said, miseducated and the education of the Negro. I got all those books. You don't have to go spend that money for that stuff. I got them. I got all those books. Everything that people be talking about, European books, this, that, and the other, I have them. And a person to sit up here and more talk with that Willie Lynch with all that, with that sureness. And I said, they won't take that to academia. You won't take that to court because that's your belief system. We destroyed that stuff on the college campus from academia. You can't use your belief system to explain something. And so when I speak from truth regardless of who like it or not. The truth will make you free. And that's what I deal with. But a lot of people are mad with each other. And I'm like, dude, like, what? So you don't more, they'll talk about Gaston El Bey. You'll hear emperors talk about Gaston El Bey, about the Washita, the Hundi Moors. And I say, well, was she a Moor? Yep. And then you will see this empress going to TV. Then she talk about the Moors from white people, this and this, because she mad at some goofball Negro that make goofy videos. He a Moor, call himself a sheik, whatever. And I said, y'all is fucking crazy. You would just give all credit to Empress Gaston El Bey about the Washita Moors and say, yep, they Moors. And I can show you how the United States gave land back. I can show you how the Louisiana Purchase wasn't no fucking purchase or none of that. And then just because you have a quarrel with another person, we'll just say all Moors in general. And it's Moors just, I say, y'all crazy, man. And the European agree with me. So that's why I let them Negroes just argue. Because the European agree right with me. The judges agree with me. The professors agree with me. The fucking Masons agree. Even the ones that's with that Eurocentric and that Negrocentric propaganda behind closed doors, they agree. Because you can't disagree with scholarship. And that's what I tell people. Let's deal with what the writer said in the first century. Let's deal with the ones back. If you're going to disagree with that, you're crazy. That's how I know Moors not studying. They be holding up books. Man, most Moors don't have the aptitude to read everything. These Negroes will read 1 or 2 pages. They be looking for one thing. Look at it on the internet. They be looking for 1 or 2 or 3 lines. Look at it. They ain't gonna go over a whole book with you like we do. We go over whole chapters like we going over the whole Quran. We go over the whole thing. They just highlight a line. Come on, man. You can't do that. We talk about all of it. All of it. We're talking about studying, bringing people up. How you going to know for sure? If you're not studying, if you don't have the literature, how you going to be a student of someone that don't have books and a curriculum? That's what I'll be telling people. I'm like, come on, man. More science ain't no whole bunch of old men arguing, making videos of other men. Look at this shit, man, on the internet. All I seen was other men making videos of other men. My man sent me some dude with something on his head. He was like, these some people in Canada, then there's some other people in Philadelphia. I said, man, stop sending me this shit. For real, man. I got so mad. He was like, no, Sheik, I apologize. I said, your apology accepted, but don't send me no more of this goofy nigga shit. I said, man, this shit is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I mean, people use, so I said, oh, I see what it is. It's internet. This is how they make their money. I seen dudes make whole videos over a dude. That one guy, I don't like to say people names. That one guy that started off being righteous, now he say he make all this money, whatever, you know? So, hey, and I saw dudes making whole videos, not one video, not two, 50. And I say, wasn't y'all all with this guy? So I'm like, what is y'all doing? I said, this shit is staged. Then when you start looking at it more, you be like, yep, this shit staged. It's like they not even that smart. I said, oh, man. And so that be the distraction. I'm just, shit, man. I'm just sitting here chilling. I'm finna sit down for a second. I'm going in the house. No, I gotta give me a pump in. But for real, man, for real, if you want to learn more science, you can come to class. You can be my guest this Sunday. All we ask for a charitable contribution of $20 to Cash App $KG Bay. You give me your information, and I'll send you some literature for your $20 donation. And I make sure you get the passcode to join us privately for class. And like I said, right now in our ADAPT teaching, we're finishing Law Governs All Events. And I'm showing you how law governs all events. All law, I'm showing you that I can connect it to the Quran. Just like all federal laws, I can connect to the Bible. It's very simple. Just like I connected the Bible and Quran. You must do that. That's why I be laughing at Moors that's not operating correctly. And I ask them, what is the Bible? What is the Quran? Isn't the Quran a construction of parts of the Bible and a Rosicrucian manual unto thee I grant? They be like, yes or no. No, well, have you read those and do you understand them? And can you interpret them? And can you speak on them? See, you must. Have you read the Brahmin text, the Vedas, which the Moorish Quran clearly speaks on? You must. If not, you limit it. So what you going to teach? What you going to teach people? What you going to teach the children? Religion? To only read the Moorish Quran? That's a religion. That's like church people to tell you, oh no, all we read is the Bible, and that's not true. How you gonna know all the Gnostic texts, and how you gonna study all the religions and understand them? Well, you don't gravitate to one if you only study the Moorish Quran. How you going to understand the triple roll of the adapt chamber? How you going to understand the science? How you going to understand gematria? How you going to understand microeconomics, macroeconomics? How you going to understand knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, and nature if all you study is the Moorish Quran? How? Then you're not a scientist, and clearly you're not in the laboratory with your test tubes and your beakers. Clearly you're not. So you can't call yourself a scientist or a doctor, because a scientist and a doctor is per se like a walking contradiction per se. When I say a walking contradiction, stay in the context. The context is you're steady perfecting your crafts. So you making sure the law is valid. You making sure it's precedented. You making sure none of these laws have been abolished or nothing. You making sure you current with everything. That's what a legal rep does. If I'm defending somebody in their proper manifestation, I must make sure I'm current on the laws today. I must make sure I'm current. I must make sure I ain't taking no law from Hawaii trying to bring it over here that has no jurisdiction. I got to make sure I prepare myself all the way before I won't get dismissed. I'm telling you, I'm gonna break some shit down about tort law where I tell people they lying. I've done this shit in real life. Forget the more science. I've done this shit in real life before more science, before videos and shit. That's why I know a scam when I see it. And then the people that's under the scam, they'll never come to me with that shit, because they be like, no, they'll check me out and research me, be like, I ain't coming. I know you're not. I know you're not. But I'm talking about what can be done and pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, just like every other group of people, just like the misnomer Jews done. That's how they got a political fight. And I tell more, they talk all this political, all this law shit, want to make all these laws, but they ain't in a political fight. It's never happened. These Moors be in their communities they lived in since they was a kid, and they not even in politics. They not even city councilmen. Don't care about running for mayor. Don't know nothing on the board of education. So and all their kids go to these public schools, and they out here arguing and barking and talk about their nationality and their birthrights, but they kids steady getting miseducated. They not focused. Because your focus should be on teaching these kids and what they learning in them schools as young nobles, misnomer Negro, blacks, and colored in that urban community. They know Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. They know the history that started with slavery. So why are we not teaching them that shit? And why the Moors not teaching them that shit? I'm talking about Moors that still live in their neighborhood that they did when they was a kid, that live in their mama house, in their neighborhood, that get on the internet and make videos every single fucking day, and you don't see them doing nothing in their community with no children and no kids or no real fight. It's all about somebody else. You don't see them going and say, you know what? We're going to update the proclamation in our area, in Philadelphia, in Canada, in wherever, and do some positive things. You know what? Man, let me tell y'all this. I know temples in Chicago. It's about 4 or 5 temples, and Negroes in them temples don't even know each other. All in one little area, in less than a mile radius, in less than 10 mile radius, you got temples in all these different areas, and these Negroes don't deal with each other. I'll be cracking up, man. I said this shit is fucking crazy. You got Moors in say, I'll use my area, say Flint and Detroit, and Negroes don't even know each other. Why? Because there's division. Because everybody want to be God. Now here it is. You got Flint and Detroit. Man, people should be coming. It should already merged. It already should have merged, but it's too much ego because people be making that shit up as they go. And you got a lot of these old ass men that call themselves some sheiks and grand sheiks, and they act like preachers, and they don't know a damn thing. And I'm just keeping it 100. All they can do is go over some bylaws, and that shit is like church. It's like, man, you can close your eyes, you go over the same shit. Dress up, eat chicken and shit, like church. That's what it became. I'm telling you, because it ain't them, but you don't see them nowhere. You don't see no Moors nowhere. You don't see no Moors in the community, in the urban community. You don't see the Moors be like, you know what, let's make a statement. And that's what I be calling Moors out, like, let's do it. Where y'all at? I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I also be in Vegas. I also be in California. I also be in Detroit, Michigan. I mean, Moors don't want to do right because it's all splinter groups. And that's the problem with this science, man. It's only one prophet. It's only one temple. It's only one science. And if we're studying the right way, you have the information, you can make a sound decision. So I'm out of here, man. I love everybody. But I challenge everybody to share this, man, and like it. Share this stuff, man. Share and like it. Subscribe to our Temple and School page on Instagram, burningbushtabernacle.ts. And like I said, check out mypdfbooks.com, book with the Z, and get you some literature. And MoorisHaberdasher.com for all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more. But me, as a Moorish divine minister, as a sheikh, yes, I'm proud of the businesses that we create and things, but I'm more proud of the literature, man, and the education that I'm allowed to do. You know, I try to keep things in-house. And once the body becomes successful, you know, we'll be able to do a lot. You know, that's why I say I'm a Buddha and I deal with currency, because once the house is full, then I can show people what can be done with offerings and donations from a right body. I can show people how things can happen, because it can. We just got to trust something. And what I show people, it don't cost us no whole bunch of money to do nothing. If we real and we honest, the work can be done. I promise y'all. But I really, really, really would like people to come to class. I really would like people, if you're more and you don't have a temple you're going to, every Sunday you can come to Sunday school. And all we ask for is a $20 charitable contribution. If you don't have $20, it's okay. That's a suggested contribution. That's a suggested contribution. If you don't have $20 to give each week, and I'm just using it as an analogy, and you be like, Sheik, man, I'm really serious, but right now I'm struggling and I only got $5. Well, the first thing I want to figure out is why you only got $5 is how can I help you? Because no person that's called himself a man and have a family and grown should only have $5 a week for something they love if we smoking and drinking and partying and bullshitting. So I want to make sure we understand that. But if you clear and that's all you have is $5, a week, I'm gonna let you come to class, but I'm gonna have a conversation with you, be like, is this only worth $5? Because if it's only worth $5 to you, then I don't want you. And the reason why I say that more is because before the internet, I do lectures on the college campus, and I get used donations. I never show my donation checks to no one because I don't care. But I asked people, if you came to my temple, would you give a $20 donation if you came every week? And everybody I asked that, they say yes. Everybody, they said, "Sheik, $20." They're like, if I came to your temple, I'd be giving more than $20 a week. And I said, well, damn. Well, why won't you do that on the internet? I know people that was part of churches, and the husband and wife on a minor end gave $100 apiece. That's $400 apiece each month. Times 2, that's $800 a month. And they'll come back from the church and talk about the church, about how the pastor's stupid and all this and all that, and then give their kids money to give to the church. And, these are some of the people that I deal with because they got children now. And I say, I'm an educator. And the true guide and the true sheik can sit down and talk to families. They don't go to church anymore because they don't like it. And they're not members of the school of the Burning Bush Tabernacle per se, but I tutor their kids, and I go over there once a week and we talk and we build. And they donate. And they was like, man, they're not finna be giving to the church. They didn't like nothing going on at the church. They was like, why should we have to pay for our son to have a tutor? And all these educators was at the church, and their kids can get tutoring. They had all these classrooms at the church. I wouldn't have spoke at their church because I knew the pastor. I wouldn't spoke. They met me, and I tutored their kids. Been tutoring their kids for almost 3 years. And I talk about science with them, and they donate. And this what I tell people, man. It's our will and sacrifice. And what I'm doing is a value. If you see what I'm doing as a value, you have no problem supporting it. If you don't see a value, I will hope you won't be on here wasting your time. I've been on here for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I will hope you won't waste 1 hour and 30 minutes of your time. I would think you can be doing something way more important than listen to Kari speak. I had to tell a brother the other day, we out in public, and they're like, well, no, you the master teacher and this. I said, dude, no, please. I said, that's a title. I said, I get that. I said, we in a regular setting. I'm Kari, man. Now, if you want to call me Kari Goodman Bey, then that's fine. You give me my appellation, but I don't have to have all that when we out in public, or this the man. Nah, man. When I'm speaking, I'm thinking it'll come out. But I'm Kari. I'm Kari Goodman Bey. To my people, I'm a sheik. To my members and things, I'm a sheik. That's what I tell people. If you're not my pupil, I'm not a sheik to you. That's okay to me. You can accept me as that. But I tell people, a sheik is a sheik to a particular people. Just like your mother. Your mother is your mother. My empress is my empress. She's my empress, not everybody empress. She's an empress to me. She might not be an empress to everyone else. When I talk about subjective and objective, that's what I talk about, the importance of having a true guide and a map. When it's a commitment, and a covenant is a commitment, is a contract. That's what makes us friends. I tell people that all day. It's like, dude, you don't have to accept that leadership. You can go anywhere else and then compare what you got to us, or compare what you learned to where my brothers and sisters learning. It's like night and day. A lot of my members, when I be challenging them, and I say, I take you to a temple, and Moore's been a part of a temple for over 10 years, and they wouldn't even have a day to sit and everybody in the temple to listen, and they sheik will listen. And he'll stop you and be like, well, y'all sheik is an educator and a scholar, and he been that before this Moorish science. I keep telling people I'm not limited with the wisdom, is what I'm saying. I can trump a lot of things. A lot of people have compilations. We're talking about the main source. You must have the main source of everything. It's just like where the information come from. If you write in the paper, and at GCU, they have a system called Turn It In system, where you have to turn all your information in, and it'll say where you got your information from and plagiarize. So if you can't deal with the main source of the information, you really don't know. You have to deal with the main source. That's like when I give analogies, when I used to be in the churches, because I've been through all the fire, and I always spoke truth and lectured proof and the gospel with the truth. And I said, and I asked everybody, what do they want? Do they want the light switch? I said, the power. I said, well, do y'all want the power, the light switch or the power? Everybody was like, let me see. They like the light switch. Half of the church were like, they want the light switch. And I said, okay, fine. I cut your power off. The light switch ain't nothing but a mechanism. The power, the electric, the power is the atmosphere. The power is the system, the base, the source. You got to have the source. You got to have the source, man. Everything else is just a switch. So if you're not dealing with the source, the main source, then come on, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to be corrected? Why would you deal with somebody that's dealing with hate, telling you you can only believe in this and believe in this, and the only way to righteousness is through Noble Drew Ali? And I'm going to tell you that's not true, because you was a Moor before Noble Drew Ali. I'm glad Noble Drew Ali resurrected some things, but the only way through righteousness is not through a man. It's through your heart. The only way through righteousness is not through a man, it's through your heart, period. And the closest place to find God, Allah, Buddha, whatever, is in your heart. It's not through no man. It's not through me, period. I say that definitely. No, salvation is not through no Khari Goodman Bay. It's not through Noble Drew Ali. No, we teach it. That's why we tell everybody, don't praise us. That's why all God men tell them, don't praise me. You don't praise me. It's the teachings, because the teachings is universal. The law is universal. I'm just a messenger and a guide and a map in this dispensation for this time period. That's a prophet and an angel in the flesh. That's it. And if we did, and the sooner we get it, the better we will be off, man. Morris, let me tell y'all something before I leave. A lot of us don't know history. A lot of our own people will let our kids just be so miseducated. When I did a lecture, how you doing, brother?
I saw you in a while.
I saw you in a minute. How you doing, man?
Blessed, brother.
Blessed, man.
How you
Blessed.
been?
I'm great, man. Just sitting out here talking to the people, man.
God bless you, my man.
You too, man. God bless, man. But you see what I'm saying, man? How I just sit out here, man, and people walk up to me because I'm a regular guy, and I love. And when when people see that you is love, when I be in my regalia, people walk right up to me, and I speak to them in truth, because I let you know who I am, and I understand all holy books. That's the gift, man, of like, you can go anywhere. Like a prophet is no good in his own country. I'm a long way from home. I'm in a red state. And so when I speak, man, I speak from love and wisdom and academics. And why do our own people diss academics? And I say, well, John Henry Clark, was he an educator? Was it Dr. Ben an educator? Was Ivan Van Sertima an educator? Was Sheikh Anta Diop an educator? Was Amos Wilson an educator? Was Dr. Francis Cress Wilson an educator? So we got all these scholars in our history. And then when we have scholars today, we get mad. Oh, he think he educated and he think he this and that. It does mean something. If the heart is pure, that mean you have a base of understanding. That means you should understand some prerequisites. That means you understand the elements of things. And if you're righteous, and if you're there to learn, you can take it to the next level, because the science is there. Moors, any questions? Any questions? I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I'm getting hungry. Any questions? But like I said, I hope y'all really, peace out, brother. I hope y'all really, man, get serious in what we're doing. Check out mypdfbooks.com. Check out morrishaberdasher.com. And like I said, Morris, come to Sunday school. I would love for you to come to Sunday school and be my guest. But with that being said, man, like one of my favorite cartoons, Inspector Gadget, this message will blow up in 10 seconds. So peace and love. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I just came back. Okay, so I was saying, like, a lot of people, we don't know history. Research Winston Churchill and all the atrocities what Winston Churchill does. When, like, Eurocentric propaganda, they'll try to have you studying these people, but not knowing all the atrocities they really, really did in India. So research Winston Churchill, how he said he hate those Indians. He said he hate that they having kids so fast, and he hope they all starve. So research things, just like Mussolini. I tell people, man, you can't be mad when you a scholar. And even our own people, just like when I talk about Patrice Lumumba in the Congo, man, they couldn't have did all that to Patrice Lumumba if his own people didn't sell him out. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff is propaganda. Just like Africa was not named after a European. Just like that King Color said, and it's no disrespect, You know, somebody showed me that and they was like, Sheik, you did a whole lecture on this. And I was like, a whole lecture on what? And she sent me a video and it was called Hidden Colors. And I was like, okay, I don't like to, you know, some stuff I just try to stay away from. But she showed me the film. It was called Hidden Colors film. And the brother on there was saying that Africa was named after a European. And she like, that's clearly not true. She was like, you clearly explained it, like from scholarship, like very like, why do we do this? And she was butthurt. And she wrote the brother and everything, and somebody wrote her back and was like, he apologized and can we get your Sheik information? And she was like, no, I'm not giving you his information. She'll like watch his video and tell me if anything he's saying is wrong. And she was like, because nothing this man is saying is wrong. He's like, everything this man is saying is education, is facts and can be proven. She was like, why would you make a video out and call it Hidden Colors and say Africa was named after a European? I proved that it wasn't. I proved it was the Agneman after he killed the Cardigan general. And then I showed his brother what happened in Italy. I showed this stuff. I showed it clearly. And I said, you see how your own people will lie to you and then get mad when an educator be like, well, I hear what you're saying. Here go the facts. And I give you the proof and you can read it yourself. The history. I did a lecture on it. And I did so many. And then the college asked me to come do a lecture on it because a lot of people was saying that. And they was like, damn, and they had to digress. Got to stand an ovation. And I said, that's why our own people will put things out there to try to put some white supremacy over you or try to have you think like that. The European, the Albion, the Trailerdyke, no disrespect to no one again. That was a fucking caveman that ain't never had no shoes on his fucking feet, that ain't never had a house, that ain't never had no fucking running heat. They talk about you, the creator of civilization. That got to be the dumbest shit ever. I ain't say I was no goddamn caveman. I ain't say I was no damn Trailerdyke. I ain't say that I was the one that grew up with no fucking dinosaurs. And it ain't no history of the Asiatic man or African, whatever you want to call it, that. Period. So I say, why do you got to look at people's motive. A person, especially when I talk about scholarship. Scholarship, you are responsible for doing the research, or it's not scholarship. If a scholar is responsible for doing the peer review scholarship. If you a researcher and a journalist, or say you are just journalist, if I'm a journalist, I must reach out to a scholar. This is like if I'm writing a book. So when I tell people, you can't get mad at people for letting you fall with the propaganda, letting you fall with Willie Lynch propaganda, letting you fall with Roots propaganda. And then here it is, the propaganda about Africa was named after a European. That's not true. And you know, when she was like, well, why we do that to each other? I said, because we love Negrotainment. We love to be entertained. And most people, when they get a understanding and they feel that you stupid, they do that. And you know, and like the people be showing me videos like, dang, he talking to women like this in certain areas like it's a mockery. And I didn't know, but I said, Africa's not named after no European, and can't nobody stand on that and take that to no court of law for no scholarship. That is not scholarship. And so that's why I tell people, only way to sell something to a person, it got to be truth mixed with falsehood. It can't be all lies, because if it was all lies, you would reject that shit right off. But misnomer, Negro, black, and color been hurt for so long, they want something they can grab to so fast, we'll accept anything, and we won't hold our own so-called educators to that high-ass standard. We'll be talking about the European lying, writing all this fake shit and this pseudo-academic. But when our own people do it, what? Oh, they made a mistake. They ain't made no mistake. They thought about that. That's premeditated. That's fraudulent concealment. Because how the hell I call myself a scholar and I can do a lecture talking about Africa is named after a European? Man, my professors, everybody be looking at me like they'll stop me. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? And my professor was European, Albion, Jews, or whatever you want to call it. We talking about scholarship. Africa was not named after no European. So how can you pass that like that? Because you think everybody's stupid. And so a lot of what most Negroes do, they'll start talking loud and ran off at the mouth. Man, shut up. Go to the court of law. Prove it. Africa was not named after no European. No way possible. Ain't no Willie Lynch ain't real. In first century, and it ain't no such thing as black pertaining to ethnicity in Black Laws Dictionary, Volume 1. Nowhere. And Roots, Alex Haley plagiarized Roots from a European called Harold Colander. And he was sued. Talking about some Kunta Kinte was his ancestors. All lies. All lies. And everybody know it. All lies. Ron Karinga, the dude that started Kwanzaa with COINTEL. That's a real COINTEL. So when the truth must make you free, man, and if you're not willing to research the truth, and if you're not willing to be illuminated, we must correct history. And that's what I was allowed to do in my academia studies. And that's why I tell people, you think people don't know our history and know what I'm talking about? How do I know all this and can prove it with research and scholarship? Because it's been there. And when I was on college campus before the COVID came, all my lectures was packed with students, Jewish professors, so-called Catholic professors, and all students, a couple of people that would look like us. I used to lecture in the African American department, destroyed all that stuff. You know, destroyed all that pseudo academia. You know, because the stuff is there. It's sitting, it's there, and you can prove everything you're saying in the libraries, but you must prove it from academia. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. MyPDFBooks.com, books with the Z, MorrisHaberdasher.com for all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more. And our Temple and School page, we have a web page. It's called BBTScienceTemple.com. It's called BBTScienceTemple.com. That's the name of our Temple and School web page. Any other questions, man? I just sat and talked to y'all for almost 2 hours as I was doing my walk. Any questions, man? Please come to Sunday school and learn something, man. Come to Sunday school and learn. A small $20 donation, and I'll give you literature. Check out mypdfbooks.com, book with the Z. Check out MorrisHaberdasher.com, but Morris, come to Sunday school. And if you have any questions, please send us any questions on our Temple and School page at BBTScienceTemple.com, family. That's BBTScienceTemple.com. Peace out.